3, 2. Good morning. Morning. It's 11:06 on March 5th, 2026. It's me, your friend Chris Kennard, your princess of Port Richmond, aspiring woman. Happy Women's Month to all the ladies out there, all the high femmes, all the butch femmes, like all the capital F's. I'm fucking with you. All the lowercase F's. It's your month. Shout out to y'all. It's also Melanated March for
yes.
You can things up.
I love that. Keep it going.
I'm here with the incredible, incomparable Leah Rance from Laser 99.3. We are live from South Street to Springfield. I'm bringing that back. We said it back in episode 2, as I recall.
Yeah, bringing what back?
From South Street to Springfield.
I love that. I didn't remember that.
When we're taking it on the road, that's gotta be like the tagline.
That's fantastic.
Golly gee willikers, how have you been? It's been some time.
So right now I'm actually in the process of, this is my last final normal day in the studio because we are moving we're moving studios to a new building, which is like the first time in like 20 years.
Congratulations.
So, yeah. So it's exciting, but also like this will be the last time I'm like having like a normal, like you're my final like chat in this studio, which is kind of, I get sentimental about weird things. Like I'm like, oh,
that's not weird. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's cool. So the next time we talk, I'm going to be in a studio that has a window, which is very exciting for me.
The things that'll change in 20 years. It's like, you know what? Women on radio, they need windows.
Yeah,
who would have thunk it?
The seasonal depression hits so hard when you're in a space that has no windows. You have no sense of time oh my God.
I don't know if you ever saw the movie Tenet by Christopher Nolan with
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, so you remember like the first portion of the film, he's like in a lighthouse while he's just like, doing like his curls, like checking his weapon, and then it's like, oh boom, there's a boat to take him ashore. And I'm like, yo, people have to do that in real life, like just like live in those little like big ass johns, like hearing the waves crash. Like if I wasn't like kind of introverted, I'd be like, oh hecky nah, get me out of here. I'm just gonna climb to the top like, help, I want to go home.
Yeah, no, so, that sounds like my like literal hell on earth. Like absolutely not.
Definitely not. But you know what? One thing that would probably like keep me like like mentally like just like centered is some good music. That's why we're here today, gang.
I knew you were gonna say
it. Good segue. Listening with Leah, 4th broadcast. Here's what's happening. The Grammys happened. We made our predictions, and we turned out to be correct. And I want to kind of backpedal on our prediction in the sense that like, yes, we knew what would win, but to be honest with you, maybe a metal song should have won Best Metal, because people were big mad. And like people, then it's like one, they're mad because like Turnstile is different than like a lot of their contemporaries, which is kind of the freaking point, but also because like some cats are also like, oh, Turnstile isn't a hardcore band anymore. And I'm like, bro, you can't hang or bang with those cats. Like they're from Baltimore. They don't play that. Like, don't want to dare mosh pits and say that they're not hardcore. Okay. You get slugged with a guy who smells like Old Bay. Yeah. Okay, cool. Then we can have a conversation about how not hardcore they are.
Right.
But I dare say maybe they should have won Best Rock, because I think with the kind of song that got nominated, it's not technically a metal record, but like it's still a great record. And I hope more metalheads give the album a chance, because there's a lot of just like fun audio flavors on there. So shout out to us for like calling the win from like 1,000 yards away. But in addition to that, I didn't really watch the ceremony per se, but so I wanted to like see what you thought of at least one of the winners. And I chose, I think Best Song versus like Best Record, because I think Best Record was Billie Eilish with Wildflower. And as good of a song that is, I
Yeah.
don't think it qualifies as the record of the year. Personally speaking, when she was nominated last year, she should have won something. And if she's going to be nominated this year, why was it not Birds of a Feather? Because Birds of a Feather actually sounds like a record that like people want to listen to. Hey, first, and I'll tell you why. First of all, good morning, baby. Like this is Rob Primus from from Adel Trading, the bassist and love of my life. And one morning I'm going to their house, and like it's like 9 o'clock in the morning, and there's this old head. I think maybe he's had a little too much to drink the night before, and he's just singing out of key. Love you till the day that I die. And I'm like, see, that's the record that should have won record of the year. Because
it's
like
touching all demographics, like it has gone far and wide.
Like he's really just like singing his record, not giving a damn who hears them. And like respectfully, I didn't hear Wildflower anywhere else other than TikTok, and I do not think that indicates a record of the year. But that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about the John Wick of Compton, California, Kendrick Lamar, and his ethereal bestie SZA.
Amazing. That's a great way to describe him.
I remember
oh, sorry, go ahead.
You first, actually. It's Women's Month. Go ahead.
Oh no, it was really but you're also that's not fair. But you're right. I was listening to J. Cole the other day, and I got laughing to myself because I was still thinking about the fact that like he immediately like apologized to Kendrick. I was like, no thank, I don't want that. I don't want any of that.
And like the gag about Cole pulling out was that I heard allegedly that when he like, you know, he drops his diss track and whatever, he gets a phone call from one Schoolboy Q. And for those who don't know, Schoolboy Q is Kendrick's like Crip friend, the one wearing the bucket hat, the proud father, like the one throwing gang signs in the DNA video. I would never want to get a phone call from Schoolboy Q unless he wanted to smoke some weed with me. And he's like, Cole, babes, you gotta change your mind. I'm telling you right now, you have no idea what's coming down the pipe. And Cole's probably like, Q, what do you mean? And he probably heard the beat to Meet the Grams just like ominously in the background. And he's like, oh, I have made a mistake.
I love
like,
like,
yeah, love you too, buddy. Just like friend to friend, you don't want to do this.
And what a decision to make. What a bullet dodged. My God.
I remember like even when GNX came out, I'm sitting in my bedroom watching a live stream, and then the host himself, who lives in the Bahamas, mind you, was just like, huh? Kendrick dropped? And like the chat just starts like, and I go to my DSP and I'm like, new Kendrick record. Oh, sorry, got to turn this live stream off. Got to put this on right now. Right. I'm in like my bathroom listening to the record, screaming to the bars. So I'm just like, this is a man possessed. Like, I don't know if you heard the most recent Claudio Sanchez interview on Hard Lore. The hosts were talking to him about like The Crowing by Coheed and Cambria. And he's like, what possessed you to write that song? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, sir, when I hear that riff, I'm ready to spin kick everybody in the room. There is a dark energy inside you. And like, he's laughing because he's just like, oh, that's just the way I write my songs. But like the phrase, there is a dark energy inside you. I'm like, oh, Kendrick Lamar. You know, just like a man who's never actually, he's not gang affiliated, but everyone acknowledges him. It's like, Mr. Wick.
I saw him like doing push-ups outside on like cement to like 70s like soul, and everyone was like, that's how you know not to mess with him. He's not doing that for show. He's working out like he's in prison and he's fully free.
Listen, I have half a mind because unfortunately I work in a place where people love to listen to Drake, and it's just like, I'm not gonna call HR, but maybe like if I'm in public and I see like a schmuck like playing Iceman in my city, I may have to like put my arm around his shoulder and say, sir, I'm gonna have you to turn that down.
Oh, that's cute.
In the name of the Lord and Savior of hip hop, I'm gonna have you to turn that down, please. Put on some headphones. Have some respect for yourself. This is a city of
But
brotherly love. That's why I'm telling this to you.
What's interesting though is that the song that we're gonna discuss is actually pretty chill and it's like a hug
It
in
is.
comparison.
It's like you hear that song and it's like, wow, like there's it's very much like, because like, of course, like Kendrick comes out guns blazing on GNX, but just for a moment it's like, like don't make war, make love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just the cute story that like he told, that like when they got the sample clearance, it's like, no profanity. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like for Luther Vandross, without a shadow of a doubt. And he's what Luther Vandross is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, because I recently brought up Luther. I don't even know what the discussion was, but I said Luther Vandross, and they said, "You mean Vandross?" I said, "I'm pretty sure I saw in an interview he said himself that it was pronounced Vandross." So it had me questioning though. And then once you said that, I'm like, okay, so I'm not crazy. Like
You're good.
Vandross. Yeah, I was like, Vandross. I've never heard that in my life. So anyway,
that don't even sound right. But, it don't like.
There's no E at the end. Yeah, like
you know how mean kids are. Like no, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Anyway. I think about Luther Vandross and like the legacy of his music. Thinking about how when he was just singing background vocals for another legendary singer, she's like, "Yeah, you're fired, so you can go do your own thing." Because like, ain't no way you're gonna like just stand behind me singing like that, and not the world doesn't get to hear what you do. And about how my father and I, God rest him, we had like a bit of like, a complicated relationship, but like he was more than happy to tell me about like his heroes, like a Luther Vandross. And, Dad didn't know, but like he was planting like queer seeds in my garden. You know what I'm saying? Just like, like if this man can like be who he is, loved by my community, and like, live the life that he lived, like, I can, live the life that I want to live. And just, for like, again, one of the scariest dudes in our culture to like, I'm going to show so much like deference and care to this Luther sample, because there will be kids who hear my song and want to hear like his deep discography, all the other artists who got to play alongside Luther, who had their lives changed. It's like, that's a great legacy to leave behind. That's a proper Grammy winner. Like one of my favorite critics was like, I don't know about this song, it's kind of mid. And it's just like, perhaps it's just because like, these days it's not often we see like a genuine just like love ballad get like the kind of like reception that it's received. So it's just like, maybe like we'll see more like authentic yearning. I know you briefly talked about in one of your rock hot takes about how you need someone who have been in love and lost that love to sing a particular record at the karaoke booth, so then it's real.
I feel like this could be like a much larger society. First off, I love hearing your take on that, because that added a new appreciation to the song that I never even thought about, is the fact that like of what Luther Vandross meant, and then how that could be translated to future generations. Like that's so cool. I got so wrapped up in that I can't remember what I was gonna say. Crap.
Oh my
gosh. Damn it. What were we just saying? Yeah. Shit.
Just like with like the what even like what was like the single you were talking about in that rock hot take about more people should sing it at the.
Yes. Well, I just feel like we as a society have become so I mean, and rightfully so, jaded. And but
it happens.
Yeah. And I feel like we're so not impressed anymore by anything. Like I feel like you could put out like the best thing ever and somebody's going to be like, well, it doesn't have this, and it's hard to impress people these days. And I feel like we're in the least romantic era somehow ever, which as a romantic at heart kills me inside. So to hear something like this is just like I said, it's like a hug. It's like a breath of fresh air,
Okay, then speaking of fresh, thinking of like oxygen and things of that nature, let's take a plane trip across the pond to our favorite spooky boys, the Sleep Tokens, and the song you feel like was your personal like record of the year, the Rants record of the year.
Yeah.
Caramel. A record that like I find refreshing in the sense that like here we have a group of cats, we don't know who they are, and when people like put up boundaries like, oh, this is my private information, you can have my art but you can't have my identity. They're they like not, I think even yesterday I'm watching a video essay by Shan Spear about how fandoms will target women, because it is March and all that, but like we have like these dude bros who we don't know, and like everyone's like on a mission to find out who they are, and they're like, hey, like y'all, do y'all see what y'all doing? Like, do y'all see yourselves? Like, it's just
it really put
like
a mirror, to people being like, why do you feel so entitled to everything? And it's because there's been no barrier as of late. And it kind of goes back to what I was saying about like not being impressed by anything. People are so quick to flip on anybody like a dime. Like that woman that just won the gold medal, they're already like trying to,
Alyssa Liu, like,
yeah, right.
Y'all better leave her alone. She's from the Bay. Y'all better leave her alone.
Literally, I was like, they like her for 1 second, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, actually, no,
she's
never
conceited.
mind.
It's like, bro, I don't know
I
that lady.
But I understand the need. I think, you know what? I have a prediction. I think we're gonna see more of that. Honestly, I think we're gonna see more anonymous artists like that.
I just saw in the news about Beartooth. I saw some news about how, because I've been a Caleb Shlomo guy since like the Attack days, and I hear, like carrying that band for the record. But like, and they're still together today, so kudos to them. But like, Beartooth drops a new single, and I hear old buddy is like deleted his Instagram, and I'm like, oh, I hope nothing bad happened. Turns out, because I follow one of like his biggest fans, also in the UK, Yasmin Suman from the We Wear Black podcast, and like that's like Yasmin Suman's like surrogate dad, Caleb Shlomo, and they were like, oh, so Caleb puts on some makeup, and now like shit is weird for y'all, huh? Who just passed away from Birmingham? Ozzy wore a lot of makeup. Where's the issue? And I'm like, is that what this is about? I thought something really, because like it was just like, oh, like the music has changed, the look has changed. Out come the pitchforks, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, if you had told me that like Caleb Shlomo was gonna like start a band that like it signs to Red Bull Records and just like changes the face of like like that mainstream like butt rock sound, and like y'all turn to him for like changing for like what, mogging, and like this is what we get in the year of our Lord and Savior 2026. Y'all are you're losers. You're weak.
For real.
You would never survive.
You would never survive.
Be ever so serious. Would you ever go to Chris Motionless and say, you wear too much makeup? Bruv, he's from Pennsylvania.
Like, when did we stop liking art? When did we stop liking when artists are artists and when they are allowed to change their sound and change their perspective as they get older? Isn't that the point? I don't want the same record every time from this. They can keep their core identity, but I don't want the same record from the same, I hope you've changed.
Like you have to spin the record at your job. It's like, oh, I hope I like the new Beartooth. I have to hear for the next month. So like, like maybe I don't want to have cilantro every day. Maybe I'd like to have, I don't know, some parsley. Yeah.
By the way, I got my shit absolutely rocked at a Beartooth. It was like when they were just breaking out, and I think actually it was like one of the final Warped Tours, and and somebody kicked me in the back of the head, and I was at that unfortunate part in the pit where you have to like, I was surrounded by everyone that was tiny and short, and I was the tallest at 5'4", so I was like, I'm gonna carry this, because you can't let them fall. So so it was a workout. I remember when I think of Beartooth, I'm like exhausted. I'm like, oh god, I was in the trenches.
We definitely talked about Warped a couple episodes ago, you and I, and I don't know if I ever shared my first Warped Tour experience. I went to go see Versa Emerge Shout out to Sierra Custerbeck. I hope you're well.
Wow, I haven't heard Versa Emerge in a hot minute. I'm gonna have
to. For sure. You got to spin back because those records are great. I believe Sierra, she did like a brief stint as a country singer. The artist was the group was called like Bad Daughter. They only put out 3 songs. So I hope that she's well. Haven't really like heard from her since like she had a brief appearance on like the Devil Wears Prada podcast when they were like doing one during like the quarantine. And so we heard how she was doing. I think she was like doing roofing and stuff like that. So again, I have so much love for Sierra because I know her and I know Blake from Versa. They like helped produce the first Paris record. So big kudos to them. And so I go see them play. It's my first like big show. And so their last song, Sierra's like, I want to see some crowd surfing. Let's go. And so, again, I'm 6'3". They're like, yo, help me up. And so a person like runs into me and I kicks the glasses off my face. And I wasn't like wearing like the thingies that like keep them on my body. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, people are moshing. I'm not gonna find those glasses. I probably should like go call my mom to take me home. But as the crowd disperses, I find them unscathed. I feel like it was just like a sign from the rock gods, like, you're gonna be here all day. Let's lock in. And so kudos to all like the Scene Kid gods that watched out for me that afternoon, because holy moly, I think I spent all my money on merch and nothing on food. I was just shotgunning water the whole like afternoon.
That's very
Washington DC heats. I don't regret a single freaking thing. I would do it all over again.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't survive. Okay,
that's and what I'm saying. Like, some people wearing makeup. What?
I can't believe that. That's what we're kicking people off the internet over. Like, I feel like there are more important things that we should be
actually
angry
though.
About.
Yo, and like, hey, it's my boy Caleb. Protect your energy, King. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have your platinum plaques or like beautiful wife to come home to. So like, I apologize on behalf of all these geeks who wanted to like throw shade at you because like who again, like for Beartooth to be as successful as it is, I would have never seen it. For them to like, I would have like, they probably would have never broken up, but like to the heights they've risen to, never would have foreseen it. And like, I enjoy the music, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, well, like I said, that is a songwriter. When like Beartooth is done, he's going to keep on writing about like big records for other people. I have no doubt in my mind about that. So yeah, like that's one less person I like. Oh, like, did I see this post? Do I need to? Like, it's one thing where it's like, oh, like people want eyes on things that need more attention. I can repost. Cool, great. But it's like, oh, did you see like the latest selfie? Bro, I don't need to see your face, bro. Like, again, like back to the Sleep Token, I don't need to see your face, dog. Do I like this song? You know what I'm saying? Like when I put on like the Indie Heads podcast and they're picking on Sleep Token for being like an exacerbated version of like Imagine Dragons. It's like the two in my mind are not comparable. Sure, they're both stadium rock acts, but like I'm not annoyed by Sleep Token. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm annoyed by an Imagine Dragons. Like it's just like it feels kind of, they're both silly in different ways, but like at least like I saw like this one video on Pianote. They had like this dude on there who was like he was blind, but they played him Rain by Sleep Token without like the chords. And he's like, let me reharmonize this and turn it into a whole new song. And once they played him like the original track, he's like, oh, it's Sleep Token. Like he didn't know the song right off the top, but once he heard like the original composition, he knew it was Sleep Token. And I'm like, bro, they're moving mountains out here. And just like they're innovating in a way that like should be more accessible to acts in their realm, but like I'm glad it's them because like you're gonna enjoy the ride. Like it's so cool to see them rise from just like, oh, a band I'd happen to see on a Twitch live stream to like going to play at Wembley. Let's it's like rising tide, all ships. Kudos to Sleep Token. That's all I gotta say about that.
I do know that with this album, even in Arcadia, that some of my friends that were into Sleep Token prior were like, I'm not really feeling this one. And I think where the Imagine Dragons comparison comes in is because they leaned a little bit more pop. But what I think the difference is that Sleep Token is very much so about kind of going back to what we're saying is like following their art. And
try it out.
the difference is being genuine. Like it feels genuine. It feels like that's what they wanted to make. So like they weren't trying to make this hit. It just resonated really well. And I totally get it if people like miss the heavy metal stuff. Like I absolutely do. It's definitely not their heaviest record, and Caramel is certainly not their heaviest song at all. But the reason I picked it for record of the year is, or for me, the Rants record of the year is because I couldn't get away from it. We played it a bunch. It was their first, like, Emergence came and people were kind of about it, but then Caramel came and something clicked. There was this woman that would like call me up all the time and she was like, I hate that song, I hate it. But then Caramel came and she's like, who's that? And I was like, it's the same band you hate. Yeah. Like, so it's something about it like switch people's minds. And I just think that's really, really cool. And I don't know, I'm a big fan of like My Chem being my all-time favorite band. I love when a band changes. I like seeing evolution, you know. So
I was one of like those people who said, I don't want new My Chem because y'all didn't support Gerard Way when he made Hesitant Alien. And I don't know how like Foundations of Decay was hitting the streets. I knew I was fucking with it hard, you know what I mean? But like again, like I don't know, like because when Gerard did like his hi-fi scream feature for Ibaraki with bro from Matt Heafy, like I'm like, yo, this is my goat. Like y'all ain't never gonna disrespect Gerard Way and in my feed. But like everyone's just like, oh, want the new shiny thing, and I'm like, y'all haven't like put in the time to show that like it's worth their time. Like sure, like they can sell it a show anywhere in the world, but it's like, will you pick the record up? Like, or are you just gonna like stream it for a day, call it mid, and move on to the next shiny new thing? Let's show like that's material support. Like I'm hoping I'm sure you won't even have to get phone calls to your station when the new My Chem drops, if it ever does, in the foreseeable future. But like again, like I imagine you worked in this industry in 2014. Was anyone asking for like no shows or millions by Gerard Way? No, and that's a damn shame.
Yeah, I completely agree. And it's just like I was saying about public opinion switching. Public opinion is now switching on My Chem now that they're more out and about again. Just because that's the nature right now of how things are going is everybody has access to everything all the time, and it's just so easy to pick things apart, you know. And so now they're switching on them, even though they're doing this, in my opinion, like this amazing tour where it is this beautiful story about like a fascist government. It's perfect. It's perfect. And people are like, well, they're not speaking out enough.
I mean, this is the band that started this is the band that started because of 9/11. So what do you want?
Right. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I don't see you guys supporting Frankie Iero when he's doing his solo stuff. You're not supporting Frankie Iero's band with like freaking Anthony Green. So like,
yeah,
is it Uchiwali or One Mic for real? Well, like if they're not doing enough, why aren't you doing enough? Because then you wouldn't have time to complain because you'd be busy doing your thing in your local community. So like, and I also want to say this for the record before we move on to like Hannah Jadagu, that like I was one of those girls who heard Emergence and I'm like, I don't know if I'm fucking with this, but as like the records come out and I've gone back to Emergence and I'm like, oh, this is my shit for what it's worth.
Yeah.
And like Past Lives, that's top 40. That could be on like mainstream radio along like a Selena Gomez or Ariana Grande. But like, hey, maybe that's just not like their prerogative. But like the even in Arcadia, there's something for everybody on that record. And like I hope they wait a long time before they give us anything more. You know what I'm saying? Like because like that's when Periphery was going to drop Periphery 2, I stopped listening to their music because I wanted to be hungry for the new shit when it dropped. And I'm like, oh, it's not as if like Periphery are the only band that do gent. There are like 15 other bands that came before them or alongside of them doing just as good, if not better, in a different way. And so like, oh, like when people were like, oh, Sleep Token, they're just like a ripoff of Deftones. And Deftones is like, what the fuck did you say? And dropped a brand new freaking record. And then like, shut everybody up. And then like, again, like people who are like, oh, Deftones used to be good, but I don't like their new shit. I don't see you supporting Crosses with Chino Moreno, you know what I'm saying? Or like any of the other cool stuff that like Chino did as like a feature vocalist. No dance, like when he was on the second Dance Gavin Dance record, when he did a feature for Polyphia, when he did a feature for like Whitechapel. Like,
that Polyphia.
Come on, bro.
Bloodbath is so good.
y'all are not serious. You're not like, I saw a video from Mike the Snare about how like there's this like rising trend of like music doesn't hit the same. It's not as good as it used to be because you motherfuckers don't love it as much as you say you do. Mm-hmm. You're not hungry enough. You're not like obsessed with music in a way where it's like I want to keep on listening to new things so I don't ever like have the excuse of my shit getting stale. You'll never have that kind of excuse if you're like continuing to dig through the crates. I sent this record to Leah in February, What You Did by Hannah Jadagu, our third song, because I happened upon it like just like digging through the crates in 2023, and I'm like, what do you mean Sub Pop Records signed a young black woman making just like 2012 indie rock? You know, like I hear that song, I'm like, yo, this is Minus the Bear in their Omni rec, in just like their Omni era, just like full sound, like very cool, like VHS quality video from the music video, and just like it tickles the right funny bone for me. And I'm like, I would have loved to have seen like her honored and just like, you know, like propelled forward by a BET, by an NAACP. You know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely. I think she's getting a little bit more flowers now because I saw this one account that's like featuring just like alt black girls, and there's like 30 slides on there, and I'm like, I'm gonna see Hannah on one of these, right? But like, and I'm not saying I got to her first because again, Sub Pop signed her, but like, I mentioned to Leah in the chat like how there was a band in like the Seattle grunge region called Bam Bam, and their vocalist was black. And you know, she was going through things, so like the band didn't last, and she's not with us anymore. But like, the music wasn't really just being pushed because there was like internal strife in the band, I think, via the guitarist. But the drummer's like, you know what? Screw all this. I'm gonna go join a new band that won't do this kind of thing to our music. And he went to join Soundgarden. So like, shout out to Matt Cameron for being a real one. Like, not only did he play for Soundgarden, he played for Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Hey, and shout out Tina Bell. That's her name. Shout out Bam Bam. Like, if y'all get anything from this stream, look up Bam Bam. Shout out Seattle. Shout out Sub Pop. Leah, what you think of Hannah Jadagu and What You Did?
Oh my God, I loved the music video too that came with it. It goes with everything that you were just saying. It was like 2012. I could have easily heard that while I was, you know, it took me right back to like living in Maryland, and like I could have heard that on like Sirius XM, honestly, with the Alt Nation, MTVU. Like Madison. Oh my God, you know, it was just, it was amazing that she was able to capture that feeling in a bottle. And it felt, and while it felt so nostalgic, it also was uniquely her, which I liked, you know, and that's different because I feel like a lot of people can recreate what's already happened. Not a lot of people can recreate something in their own way, you know? And I feel like you've got your finger on the pulse. Like, I feel like she's only got 64,000, I think, views on that. And I want to see that.
Shit's got to come up.
Oh my God. Like, I was like,
actually,
this makes no sense. Like, she could easily, to me, be in a top 40 easily, you know?
It's like, I see her, I see Rachel Chinariri, I see Hemlock Springs, or is it Hemlock Grove? I think I always get those two things, like those two terms confused. Like, you know, like who's the English shorty who like did Teenage Dirtbag, but just like as like an alto. Cat Burns, Arlo Parks, like
yeah.
Come on, bro. Like, there's a lane, so like let's funnel some bread into that lane, because like that same artist I mentioned, Rachel Chinariri, she's English, couldn't afford to come to America for the tour, but guess who she went to school with?
Who?
Olivia Dean.
No shit.
I promise you, bro. And I'm just like, look at the reception Olivia Dean is getting. And that's by no fault of her own, by the way. Because I'm not going to let Muggs scapegoat Dean. Because I happen to call her like a Gen Z version of Sade, just with the kind of music that she makes
Whoa.
and the kind of background that's kind of similar to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they're like, oh, she's bringing respectability back to R&B. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean by that? Respectability.
I don't like that. That feels like a microaggression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
you snitched on yourself.
It's respectable. Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
There's someone else I wanted to give a shout out to when you were giving like a list, because I found this artist that I really, really fuck with. Blessing Jolie. Have you heard her?
No. You gotta send me a record when we're done.
She could have easily been on Lilith Fair back in the day, like a 90s. Shit. She's got that anger, you know, but she's also kind of mixed a little bit of it's just good. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to
for sure.
Yeah, it's called Software Developer Blessing Jolie. I found her on my TikTok. I followed her immediately. I think it was like the first note. I was like, boop.
Keep this in my back pocket here.
Yeah, she's also someone who I feel like could easily, you know, be in those ranks in the top 40.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, but then put her right on Front Street, you know?
Yeah.
Right. You mentioned how like the Hannah Jadaga video has like almost like less than 100K, and you brought up to me one of the records y'all were spinning over there at Laser, the Funeral Portrait and their single Dark Thoughts. When I saw the video, it came out a couple years ago. Somehow still hasn't cracked 1 million. It's getting there. So I imagine by this, maybe like in 5 months or so, it'll finally like cross that view counter. And like I gotta say, loving that chorus.
Yeah.
That's a good chorus.
Yeah, it is. It's very hooky. It's very catchy, you know. I think that this is a baby band still very much so.
This is a small act. Oh shit.
Yeah, they're figuring out what their sound is still. I like them because I am a little bit biased because I had done an interview with them, and when I met them, they seemed like they would be somebody I'd be friends with outside of like work. And I honestly can say that I don't feel that way with everybody that I talk with, or I'm like, yeah, we would have no reason to chat besides this particular circumstance. But they were like those kids that grew up that were in the mosh pit with us and like kind of went after their dreams. And they're very much so trying to make their own storyline, like their own lore, which I appreciate because that's hard to do, you know? So I'm just very curious to see. That's a band I'm curious to see what's next with them and they were I think they're the first record within like, there only like 3 other acts have done this where all 3 songs that they've come out with have hit #1 on Top Rock, and it's their debut album. I think the last person that did that, the last band was 3 Doors Down with like Kryptonite, Here Without You. That was the last band to have done that. So that was like over 20 years ago. Yeah.
Dang. Well, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna keep my eye on them now. Especially seeing like local support via you. Quick side note, like while I was getting ready to like get set up down here, I'm listening to like Conan O'Brien talk to Michelle Obama. And I had no idea he's also from Massachusetts. And I'm just like, hey.
I didn't know that either.
I know somebody from out there.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of things we're playing, though, do you know that we are also playing Turnstile now?
What single did y'all get?
We got I just looked it up and now it's moved from me. Hold on. It's
okay.
I'm so bad with names. Hold on. I'm looking through our
Is it Seeing Stars?
It's not Seeing Stars. I know that.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know. It's not that one. It's there it is. Look out for me.
Oh, y'all wait. Are y'all playing the whole song?
It's 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Okay, they chopped it up.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm like, that song is long.
I was like, I doubt it, because we even cut out the friggin' saxophone in Emergence, which I felt like was such a crime. Because I was like, well, then we just took out the fun part. Awesome. Cool.
Recently, Philadelphia legend Jill Scott just did NPR Tiny Desk. So she's doing like her she has a new record out. She's doing a press run. And one of the quotes I saw from her that's like, like just resonating with me is that she wants kids to like play more instruments.
Yes. Yeah.
And I didn't like have the patience to like practice guitar. Like the most like experience I had was playing the recorder in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
And
cross buns. Woo.
As you know, like I'm seeing this lovely bassist here, and just like watching them practice new songs and like hearing songs from like their rehearsals. Funnily enough, they just put out their first like 2 tracks on Bandcamp, and then like within a week, a radio station in Minnesota is like, I'm playing one of these songs on my show, by the way. And I'm just like, just see just how like you never know who's gonna see your stuff when you put it out for the world to see. And
That's
like I checked like the page after I heard about it. I'm like, yo, this is like the 4th ever purchase of like the EP. And someone's like, oh yeah, the masses have to hear this. So hopefully like across the world, someone's gonna like hear that AT EP. And so when like you like do like that first national tour, like, oh yeah, I've heard your record on like this one like out of nowhere like radio station. And so like I DM'd the lady on Insta and I'm like, thank you so much for supporting Philadelphia hardcore. And Shorty was like, yeah, send me more shit. And I'm just like running over to like my saved records so like I can hopefully put somebody else over and just like see how that kind of like feeds into itself. And one of my good friends from our hometown was like, I'm trying to return back to who we were when we were kids. I'm not paying for Apple Music anymore. I'm gonna buy an MP3 player. I'm just gonna like start amassing my collection again because like
I love
similar
that.
how we were talking about games before we turned on the mic. Sometimes you buy a game, you buy the digital copy, and if like things go sideways for that brand, they can just take it all away from you. And so I'd hate for that to happen to music, how like, you know, cats are paying for like their Spotify or their Deezer or whatever. And then, oh, sorry, just like the music company, like the music industry tanked. There's no more money that wasn't already like this dried up. From like these investors, these like nerds who like, you know, like who never like went to shows or like got calluses on their fingers. Look, here's Raw right now.
Oh wow. Wait, so your partner didn't start bass as a kid?
News to me.
As an adult? Wow. But that's impressive though, because that shows like tenacity to be like
dedication, love for the art.
Right. Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
again,
in addition to like Tina Bell, like if there's anything you get from today's stream, gang, it's just like have love for your thing. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't know what you love just yet, have love for yourself as you're figuring it out. Cause like if you don't know, because I'm like what 34 at this point, I think back on like my life and my experiences. And this since 2020.
That is so impressive. What is sorry, not to take you off, because you're actually your speech right now is giving me a little bit of teary eyes because it's just I get it. Like I absolutely get it. Like love yourself even when you're figuring it out. What is your partner's band again? I want to look it up later.
Prepare yourself, and I think we're not actually live. The band is called Anal Training.
Amazing.
And this is the reaction this is the reaction I wanted, because like it's a funny ass name, but the songs kick so much ass. I'm gonna put the Bandcamp in the comments today. I'm gonna send it directly to you. And like, because I told a friend from overseas about the band, and bro was like, are you serious? And I'm like, what do you mean am I serious? It's the greatest name of all time. Like, again, respectfully, Dying Fetus has been around for how long? And everyone still loves those dudes because like they care about the craft, they care about the community. They're like a real like death metal band. But when they came up to like, they played like a hardcore festival recently, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, Dying Fetus is here, Dying Fetus, and like everyone just came to the pit and tore it up. And they're like, wow, we really appreciate this. And it's like, bro, we appreciate you for like this, like doing y'all thing. So to see how things are kind of blossoming like in my own backyard, stupendous. So like this, beautiful. I think back to when I was in middle school. And my mom like gave me my own room. I had like access to radio and like all of their CDs, and even like just like putting on some songs I listened to then when I was like a young person. They still give me goosebumps, and I'm like, oh, this is where I was supposed to be all this time. Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just like I'm so like you can hear one record and change your whole life, and so like. I'm hoping you get a piece of that here, hanging out with me and my good friend Leah, we're gonna like. I think we should maybe like touch base after you've like landed in y'all's new space after a little while, because I know like you're keeping everybody up to date on social media. Again, congratulations to the Laser Gang, because like I know you've been doing this for a long time. That's so sick.
Yeah, I thank you. I've been actually, it's crazy to think I've been doing radio since 2013 now. You know what's so crazy is when you said you're 34, I was like, you look the same as when I met you. I know. I was like, oh my God.
Drink more water, girls.
She's still glowing. But you look the same as when I met you in Towson. That's so bizarre. I'm like, wow. I can't believe all that time has passed, but it's so true. You've always meant to be in this space. You, and I say it every time we get together, but you're the only person I chat with where I'm literally like, you absolutely know more than me with music. You absolutely know. Every time you're teaching me things where I'm like, what? I didn't know that. Like, yeah.
So like somebody that I know in my personal life played piano for Solange, and this is after years of like saying Solange is my favorite artist. I love Solange so much, and like got a DM like, come to New York. I'm booking you for this gig, and so we're catching up, and she's like, you know so much about music, and I'm like, you literally play piano in other countries. You cannot glaze me. Like, stop it. Be ever so serious. Like, I don't have a 40-minute video on YouTube about my fashion. So like, you are not allowed to like say nice things about me in that way.
Oh,
how dare you?
You will accept the compliment.
I just like, oh, like I was like bragging to my friends, like, yo, someone that I know was on the Fader. Just like, I don't even have the magazine, but it's like, yo, I know that person. And they're like, okay. And I'm just like, you know, the ones who get it. You know what I'm saying? So like,
you should learn to accept compliments. Okay, like you're like a vending machine with like a crinkled dollar where I'm like, take it, and you're like, no.
I'm in therapy. I'm figuring it out. I promise. Like
yeah.
Like 38. Chris at 38 will be different than Chris at 34.
Absolutely. You as you should be. It's like the evolution of music, where sorry, somebody's trying to come in real quick. It's all good.
Hey, I said I'd have you out here. I said I'd have you out of here before noon. Yo, that's our show. Thank you so much for all who was here today. Again, big shout out to Rob Primus from Anal Training, Philadelphia. Love you, baby. Laser. You'll find the website in the comments. I put some new music in there, just like that we didn't talk about today. Shout out to Mega Infinity from New York. Shout out to Michi. Follow you on Blue Sky. Drink your water, look in the mirror, tell yourself that you love yourself. Be like authentic about that. It's a work in progress, but it's worth the work. Listen to women. Yeah. Listen to women this March. Talk to your neighbors, and we'll see ya. Leah, say bye.
Bye.